With you here, showing me the way to go. With you here, showing me the way to go.
Good evening and welcome to the second edition of the MoneyGram on Air program, the program that actually discusses issues that affect Ghanaians in the diaspora, issues that actually affect them. We're doing this program in partnership with MoneyGram and, of course, Asempa FM. But basically, if you listen to this program right now, why don't you tell your friends out there to also tune in and listen to this program? Because you're discussing issues that really affect them. You're doing this also in partnership with 22 banks out there who are partners of MoneyGram.
Fellow Ghanaians, my name is Kemi Abena Okusoya. Yes, I always add my Abena name, just to make you know that I'm one of you. At MoneyGram, we live by the motto, bringing you closer. We believe in this motto because it is at the heart of what happens when the person remits money back home. And indeed, we continue to bring you closer with our ever-increasing network across the globe. We have over 300,000 locations spread across the various continents, and in Ghana in particular, we have over 2,000 locations. Some of the names you're already familiar with: GCB, EcoBank, ADB, Global Access, just to mention a few. We all remit money home to serve as that link of closeness we feel for our family and friends. Today we have harnessed modern technology to bring this ancient truth to life again. We have created this platform so experts in Ghana can advise and educate us on how we can meaningfully, safely, and conveniently continue to partake in a life come back home in Ghana, even as we sojourn in Abrochire. We appreciate your custom and remain committed to giving you the very best. Yedamwasi.
Welcome back, and as I explained to you earlier on, is mortgage for non-Ghanaians. I mean, when you hear mortgages, it's a whole lot of puzzles and debates and what have you, but even in Ghana here, I don't know how many of you have these mortgages, but what about those in the diaspora? Well, I'll not be doing this discussion alone, but in partnership or with somebody who appreciates it better than me, is Mr. Richard Kweku of Stanbic Bank. And let me introduce myself. My name is George Yafe. I am your host for this program. Kweku, you're welcome to this program.
Thank you.
And how are you doing?
Very good.
How's the business of mortgage in the country?
We are sorry.
Okay. So let first help me out before even I go into the business of mortgage. Just help me out. When we talk about mortgage, what is it all about? I mean, is it another loan or another product that banks like you are servicing or throwing it out to us?
Well, mortgages, they are loans. But in its simple terms, mortgages are loans to finance real estate. So in simple terms, what it has components. The mortgages comes with a fixed rate. It has a rate, interest rate. It comes with a tenor and a repayment amount.
I mean, you're trying to explain to me or walk me through all those categories, but help me out. What are the types of mortgages? Are there any types for maybe high net worth clients or maybe those who are in this category of salary or what?
There are types of mortgages, but we're not looking at the classes of mortgages now. We're looking at who qualifies for a mortgage. There are various classes depending on your choice and preference. So yes, there are those categories. But for Stanbic Bank, what we are looking at, we have about 6 products that cuts across our mortgage products. So depending on how much you earn, then we look at how much we can give you.
I know for banks, when it comes to loans, there are some fees attached to it. Yes. Let's look at the mortgage here. What are the fees that if someone like me or my auntie who stay in Holland wants to get that mortgage here in Ghana, what are the fees that would associate it or come along with it?
The fees associated with this is facility fee charge. And then we look at the collateral charges. Collateral charges include search, includes valuation. Those are basically the charges that comes with our mortgages.
I know for every loan facility, there's something about insurance, the risk or the fact that there's a fear that that person might not pay. Yeah. In an instance where we are looking at mortgage for non-Ghanaians, do I need an insurance for that friend of mine who's living maybe in Milan, Paris, that to get that mortgage here in Ghana, do I need an insurance?
Yes, you need an insurance, George. What it is that once you are coming in for a mortgage, you need to have an insurance. And the insurance, we do the insurance here with you for you in Ghana. We have a bank assurance team that handles that department. So once you are a Ghanaian living outside and you want to take a mortgage from us, yes, you would have to do an insurance. We'll do a life insurance or mortgage protection insurance policy, and then we do the fire and allied perils for you as well.
Now, could tell me where I can get a mortgage from. Not Stanbic Bank. I mean, tell me where can I get one?
You've answered the question yourself, George.
Yeah.
Obviously, once I'm sitting here, I will tell you to come to Stanbic Bank. But we have the best rates you can ever get.
I see. Interesting. So let's look at, again, I asked you types, but do we also have categories or kinds of mortgage when it comes to, especially when you're looking at somebody in the diaspora?
Yeah, there are kinds of it. We have two types, actually. We have the adjustable or the variable rates, and then we have the fixed rates. But at Stanbic Bank, we do with the adjustable or the variable rates. The advantage it has over the other is that it gives you room to access more, or it gives you room to take more loan, and the repayment amount is on the lower side. So that's how come with Stanbic Bank we are stuck to using the adjustable rates or the variable rates.
Kwame lives in Maryland in the US. Mm-hmm. I want to get a mortgage from Stanbic Bank. Can you walk me through how can Kwame, who lives in Maryland, get a house, maybe a normal place in Dansoman for the family?
One, Kwame needs to be a salaried worker. He must earn a regular income on a monthly basis. That's the first point. Once we know how much Kwame earns, we'll ask Kwame whether he's servicing other loans in Maryland. We look at all those, or we look at his credit report, because we need to check his credit ratings as well. Those are the things that will help us advise and tell Kwame, this is how much we can give you. Then you can go ahead and buy your house in Dansoman or East Legon or Cantonment.
If you just tune in, this is the MoneyGram on Air program that we're looking at how Ghanaians in the diaspora can own houses here in Ghana. It's in partnership with the Sempai FM and also MoneyGram. We take a short commercial break and we're back with the second part of this program to look at the details when it comes to getting a mortgage here in Ghana if you're living somewhere outside the country.
This holiday season, you can be there for your loved ones, even when you can't be with them. Wherever you are and wherever they may be. When you send with MoneyGram, they get the perfect holiday gift, bringing a smile to their face and filling your heart with joy. It's amazing how much you receive when you send money. MoneyGram, bringing you closer.
Welcome back to the MoneyGram on Air program in partnership with the Sempai FM and also the best way to transfer money from abroad. There can't not be any other way you can do that except MoneyGram. And you're looking at the second part of our program. I'm here with Richard Edu, who is coming from Stanbic Bank. And there's a question coming from Marley in UK asks, do I have to pay mortgage fees up front before I can get that mortgage from you at Stanbic Bank?
I would say yes, depending on the product. For fees, you need to pay the fees upfront. Once you get the approval for the loan, those fees need to be paid upfront before we can even disburse. But in some cases, there's a product called equity release. When you're doing equity release and you don't even have the funds to pay upfront, you can pay those fees from the same funds we're giving you.
So then explain to me, I mean, in terms of the deposits, how should it be done? How should it be structured? How?
If you say deposits, I need you to come clean with it. Is it
how much of a deposit do I need for somebody who is coming from, Mali, UK? What deposit does he need to put up front? Is it 20% of his entire salary, 10% of the entire salary, or maybe 10%?
Well, at Stanbic Bank, we do not do 100% financing. We do up to 80% or 70%. So depending on the products, then the customer or Mauli needs to do 20% deposit or about 30% deposit, depending on the product he wants.
Can I borrow to also build my own house?
Yes.
I don't want you to get a house for me. I want my own specifications.
Yes, you can borrow to build your own house. But what it is that because Mauli is not here, even for those in Ghana, we have contractors who build for them. Because we don't want Mauli to worry his head about who is at the site supervising my work and all that. So we have contractors who are professional. They would have a discussion with Mauli, get the exact plan Mauli prefers, and they'll put out that structure for Mauli.
So in talking about this bit where I can borrow to build my own house, tell me, how much do you have available for someone like Mauli who wants to borrow and build?
With our customers in the diaspora, we have a cap of about $500,000. But in certain cases, we can go beyond that, depending on where you want to put up your house. If you're looking at the prime area, if you look at the Cantonment,
like East Legon,
East Legon Airport, we can go beyond the $500,000.
Interesting. Let's also do another question coming from Teko from US. Wants to know if she can move a house as well as paying for the mortgage. I paid for this one initially. I'm moving to a different place, maybe to Dansuman. Is that possible?
It is possible. Once you are still servicing your loan, the house belongs to you. The house belongs to you. Once you are done, we are disbursed the loan, you are entitled to the house. It's your house. You can decide to rent it out and go live somewhere else. Once your repayment goes through and you do not default on your loan, it's your house.
Interesting. She's asking that can she also remortgage that particular loan if she's having financial difficulties?
Yes, you can remortgage the loan, but we would need to have a discussion and need to understand exactly what the challenges are before we look at those options. But it's allowed, you can remortgage.
Okay, there's another question from, that is John Papua in Belgium says, if my home is at risk, can I keep on with the repayment? If I have a problem with that, should I still go ahead? Maybe there are cracks in the building, it wasn't done well, I have issues with that particular building.
Well, that has nothing to do with the bank. If you have cracks in your property, then probably you deal with the developer. Your repayment on monthly basis must go through. So if you have cracks, these are minor issues. If you have cracks on your building, with time, we all know once you put up buildings, with time there are cracks, it comes up. You just renovate them, you patch them, and you move on. But that doesn't mean you should cease your repayment.
Let's move on to another question that it's dear to many Ghanaians and even those in the diaspora as well, has to do with the interest rates. How is it structured when it comes to the issues about the mortgage? How is it structured here?
With our interest rate, like I said earlier on, we have the best interest rate on the market for those in the diaspora. When it comes to the repayment, we do the amortization system. And so part of the repayment amount services the interest and part of it services the principal. And so you have the same repayment amount running through the period. Unlike our local currency where the fluctuation keeps coming, with those in the diaspora, we give them a foreign currency rate. And so if you're in the UK, you enjoy a pound loan. If you are in the US or where there's a dollar, you use dollar currency, you get a dollar facility. And so you don't see that fluctuation. So your repayment amount runs through the period, though we use a variable rate.
I asked this question because of the concern where in trying to settle the facility, the rates goes up on the market. How would that influence the servicing of that mortgage by this person who is outside?
Sure. Just like I said, once it's a variable rate, if the interest rates move up or down, it will affect your repayment amount. But I can sit here and say confidently that when it's a foreign currency, it doesn't fluctuate as we know. Because I've been with the bank for a while now, and our rate has not jumped up as it's supposed to be, like the others do. So I can sit here and confidently say that, yes, our rates are variable, but you have that comfort and that continuous repayment amount.
This is the MoneyGram on Air program that you're looking at how Ghanaians in the diaspora can own houses here in Ghana. It's in partnership with the Sempa FM and also MoneyGram. We take a short commercial break.
I feel like a ride in the city with you here, showing me the way to go. It feels like home.
It's amazing how much you receive.
I love you. I love you too.
When you send money. MoneyGram, bringing you closer.
If you have just tuned in, the program is MoneyGram on Air program, or let's say the program that looks at discussing mortgage issues, or if you're a Ghanaian outside and you want to get a mortgage here in Ghana, how do you go about it? This program is in partnership with the Sempa FM, and the best way to send money here to Ghana, irrespective of where you are in the world, that is MoneyGram. Let's move on to our final round of questions. And if I have rented a house, can I take a mortgage to refinance that?
Yes, if you've rented a house, yes, you can take a mortgage to finance that. What we do is we look at income that comes from the rental, and you can use that income to secure another mortgage, to buy another property, or to do other stuff that you want to do.
But would there be a need for a refinancing here in terms of this rental facility?
Yes. We see it more as an investment for you. We have Ghanaians in the diaspora who will not come here to live here anytime soon, or they come and they go within a short period of time. So then they buy houses here and they rent them out. So that rental, the income that is coming from the rental, can be used to also secure mortgages.
I remember earlier on you tried to explain to me about the fact that you want to look at whether those sources of income or that source of income or that funding is well structured. Now, can I use my pocket money to pay this mortgage?
If you say pocket money, is the pocket money coming from your regular
Maybe
income?
something that I've earned from my friends, family, and not a well-structured formal employment.
No, we look at a well-structured formal income flow. If you pick the rental, for example, it's regular. So we know every month this is how much comes in. So for the year, we know how much comes in. Just like the salary. So if you pick your income, we know every month we know how much comes in. So we pick your salary and we use the rental income as a support to access the fund for you.
Is there any cost associated with trying to close a facility? Are there any costs?
I would say no with Stanbic Bank. The fees we mentioned earlier, that has to do with the collateral fees and the facility fee charges, are the only charges you pay with Stanbic Bank.
You talk about fees. Now, just walk me through those monthly fees that comes with the settlement of these mortgages.
Well, if the repayment amount is what we pay on monthly basis, and so the portion of it services the interest and portion of it services the principal. But when you're closing your loan, we do something we call the search, a legal search. The search is basically to check if there's any encumbrance on the land, which is check if the land is genuine or not. And then we do something called valuation. Valuation is supposed to tell us exactly how much the property is supposed to cost, whether the landlord who is selling the house to you is not ripping you off. So those are and then we do the facility fee charge. It's more of a processing fee. So those are just the fees that are charges that comes with it. And then we do something we call the mortgage and title registration. Assuming you buy a property now, you may not have a title, but the original owner may have a title. And so we need to transfer that title into your name.
Interesting.
It's a form of security for you.
Really? I mean, when you talk about a loan facility, I know sometimes people will say that, is it a fixed rate, is it a variable rate, and all those things. The same thing also applies to a mortgage facility.
Yes. But with Stanbic Bank, we only do with variable rates or adjustable rates. We do not do the fixed rates. Because the variable rates gives the customer the opportunity to assess more and the repayment on the lower side. But if you go for a fixed rate, the fixed rate is a higher rate. So it's higher than the normal rate, open market rate. And your repayment also is on the high side, which wouldn't be good for our customers.
Well, interesting. Very interesting discussion, I must say. This evening, we're looking at mortgages. How can you get a mortgage here in Ghana if you live somewhere in Honolulu or maybe Saskatchewan? You're thinking about getting a mortgage here in Ghana. Well, this discussion is trying its best to answer all those burden questions that you have when it comes to mortgage here in Ghana. It's brought to you in partnership with MoneyGram, the best way to send money wherever you are, and of course, Asempa FM here in Accra, Ghana. Remember, you can send your questions via our Facebook page. Look for MoneyGram, and everything is there, and you can send your questions there. Now, let's get on with our program and the final round of questions. And basically, those basic tips that, sometimes they'll say that the checklist, if you're doing something, what are some of the basic checklists that I should do on myself or that person outside the country should do before I would know that indeed I qualify for a mortgage from Stanbic Bank or any of those 22 partner banks of MoneyGram?
Okay. What you can do is first you can visit our website, www.stanbic.com.gh. You'll get more information on mortgage there. Or you can call our call center or send a mail to our home loan center. Once you get onto the website, you get all access to those information. Then someone will walk you through the process. The checklist we look out for your income. That's your net salary. We look at the consistency of it. And then we look at your credit report. Those are the two key things we need to know. Your net income, your credit report, and your age. Because your age will determine how long the loan should run.
What are some of the mechanisms that you have in place to ensure that if, for instance, a Joe Mansa says that, okay, I'm working with maybe the Bank of Scotland, I'm a credit officer there, and this is what I'm earning, you can check those facts and indeed extend that facility to her?
What we do is, once we receive the documents from the customer, from Mansa, wherever she is, we have a team that assesses those documents, and we do verifications with the employers as well. So you don't just send your documents and we sit and then assess and then approve your loan. No, we have a team that goes through the documents. They'll probably call your employers, follow up on your credit issues. If there are issues we need to follow up with your credit report, we would have to call your bankers. We will do that. And then we look at your ID as well. The ID you send, we need them notarized by a legal practitioner or any bank in the States or wherever that you are.
So if I'm working outside, but I'm not working with a formal agency or a formal workplace or something, doesn't mean that I'm cut off from this. Maybe I'm doing some normal job somewhere, but I still get my salary through the banking system. Do I still qualify for that mortgage from your bank, or maybe, I'm sorry, mister, you can't take it?
For those in the informal sector, we are redesigning something for those in there. Don't forget, we launched our diaspora mortgage just last year, and so it's still new, and so we are assessing all the other options. For now, what we do is we do for those who are formally employed, but we are still looking at the other section who are informal. All we need is a regular inflow. So once the regular inflow is evidence, then it is likely we can.
So irrespective of where that person might be, as long as maybe you get through, maybe it's getting the money through the Lloyds Bank in UK, and you can see evidence.
It's irrespective of where you are.
Where you're working.
Once you're a Ghanaian living in the diaspora, you qualify for a mortgage.
And you see that the income streams are coming through the bank, and that's what you want
to look at. That's
what
we want to look at.
Interesting. Let's look at the bit about what I asked earlier on about the flexibility of the facility, whether fixed or variable. If I am out and I say, listen, I'm taking $1 loan, I want a fixed rate. Are you going to give that to me? Why?
Because per bank's policy, the bank does variable
rates. So that's
rates.
your policy?
That's the bank's policy. We do variable rates.
You want to do fixed?
We don't do fixed
variable,
rates.
sorry.
No, we don't do fixed rates. We do variable rates.
Why do you do that?
Like I said, because the variable rates have advantage over the fixed rate. And this is to the customer's own interest. Because if assuming I'm doing a rate now at 12.5%, if you want for a fixed rate, I'll probably give it to you at 14%. You are losing out. And you pay 14% throughout the period. What happens if the 12.5 drops to, let's say, 11%? You'll still be paying your 14%. With that notwithstanding, you still don't have the room to access more funds because your rate is higher. And so your repayment is also higher. But with a variable rate, you have a rate running now. It gives you room to access more, and your repayment amount is on the low side. So it is to the advantage of the customer.
Does the location matter here, where in trying to facilitate the payment of a mortgage facility? So, for instance, okay, imagine it's in an area where Alajo, let's say, with all due respect to all people who are living there, and people think that it's a flood-prone area. Would my insurance package take care of that, or you would shy away from extending that facility to that person who is outside and says, I want to get a facility at Alajo?
Once you get a property and we do our search and the land is clean and there's no encumbrance on it, and the insurers are comfortable insuring that particular property, we have no option than to disburse the loan.
Maybe let me move away from, still trying to drag on this question, move away from even a flood-prone area, an area where you think that there's so much conflict or disagreement over the land itself. Is this something that you would step back from extending the facilities to that person?
Obviously, yes. That's why we do the legal search. The search is supposed to tell us whether the land is clean or not. If it is not clean, there's no way we'll proceed with it. You won't even get approval for it.
I know for you, and looking at the challenges here in the country and also for the Ghanaians in the diaspora, I mean, is still mortgage the way to go? Because some will also say, well, let me turn to my friends and family to get something small for them and then build my house. Even though it might take like 20 years, 30 years, I still believe that the cost associated with that one is cheaper than turning to Stanbic for a mortgage.
But you and I know, George, that if you turn to your relative, you go out there, like we said in a local parliament, you struggle, you make your money.
Yeah.
You send it down to your relative to build for you. You come home and there's nothing to show. Would you want to do that again? We have had that experience for so many years. Most of us have experienced that for so many years. Stanbic is in to help shy away from that. So we are in to help our customers. That's why Stanbic, our tagline is moving forward. We want to move our customers forward to a next level where they can have that comfort and peace of mind.
Do you have contractors that you're already working with when it comes to this facility?
Yes, we do. We have a list of contractors we work with. So once you come in, depending on the product, once you come in and you want developer construction or home construction, or let's say home improvement, then we fall on our contractors. But where you want to do home purchase, that's you've seen a house you want to buy, That one, we don't come in to do those construction. We just do the evaluation to check to see whether the house is in good standing and all that, and then we go ahead to
Can I select the kind of contractors that I want to put?
Yes, you can, George. You can.
How?
What happens once you want that kind of product? We send you the list of developers we have or the list of contractors we have. You interact with them. Obviously, you will fall in love with one of them. So we send you the list of the contractors we have, and then you interact with them, and then pick one from them. Sure.
Let's look at a situation where sometimes next of kin and all those things come in. I mean, what about that one? Is it left to me outside the country to decide that okay, I want my brother here in Ghana to be a signatory to everything, even though I'm going to pay, or all the legal issues still stands with you irrespective of where you are, because it's about trying to get access to the person. Let my brother here in Ghana lead everything, but I'll do all the payments myself.
Well, you can ask your brother, you can assign your brother as your power of attorney, where he'll be here to monitor the progress of work and give you feedback and all that. Yes, it's allowed. You can do that. So you can actually get your brother or get someone as a power of attorney down here to monitor the work for you. But that notwithstanding, the fact that you have someone here doesn't mean we go to sleep. We're also concerned about customer safety and the funds they are putting in. So what we do is we also do our own checks. We have a team of qualified quantity surveyors who also do periodic checks on some of the progress of the.
So if I'm outside, I'm getting 2 reports, one from the bank and one from my brother here in Ghana.
Sure.
So going forward, you believe that's the way to go? I mean, looking at the system, basically.
That's the way to go, George. We're looking at giving you a one-stop shop where you walk into the bank and you can still get your house and still get your retail services and get everything else you need.
Well, all too soon, we have to bring the curtains down. They say good things don't last that long, but within this short time, we hope we've been able to educate you wherever you are on the continent about trying to get a mortgage here in Ghana. It has been the MoneyGram on Air program. It's brought to you by the best way to send money to Ghana, wherever you are, MoneyGram, and in partnership with Asempa FM. I'd like to thank my guest, Kweku Edu. Thank you from Stanbic Bank, helping me out. Me, myself, I've learned the 101 in mortgage financing, and maybe I will get one. But as I said, maybe whether I should be Stanbic or another way else, maybe we will look at that one as well. Thank you so much, our sponsors, our partner station that supported this program, and also all the 22 banks that are on board. It will be the same program, the same time as we discuss issues that affect you when it comes to how you can relate to your families here in Ghana. It has been the MoneyGram on Air program. Have a good evening. My name is George Wiafe.